Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in on really how to rewrite your life script after you have encountered narcissistic or psychopathic abuse. The cycles of narcissistic and psychopathic abuse basically, these are character disordered people who engage in very much a conditioning, a programming of the people who they're with in the process of what we call love bombing. And I know a lot of people, viewers, have asked me, how long does this love bombing stage, exist for? How long does it go on for? What can we anticipate? And so I want to explain that, this varies per person, this varies per couple, this varies per, family. It varies really, it's very unique in each situation. But realize that this charming can go on for months and even years before the devaluing and discarding takes place. And especially in those who are involved with psychopathic individuals, this love bombing can go on they can literally be simultaneously love bombing several people. They have a high capacity for sexuality, a high incidence of promiscuity, and very, very impulsive sexuality, which really involves a lot of violation of boundaries, social norms, sexual acts. I want to say perversion. I want to say exploitation and objectification of others in a very demeaning way, and in a way that, originally I think feels very exciting, electric, love bombing. I mean, just, that explosive feeling of, physical closeness with people, but yet it can become very insidious and traumatic because of the certain manner in which that love bombing is engaged in, and it varies again per person to per person. But what I really want to focus on here is rewriting your life script after all this has occurred, because I think that is very important to realize that in the love bombing phase, that this person has created an agenda. They have created a deliberate and calculated path at which you're going to basically fulfill them. And that path is really founded in uncertainty. It's founded in control and release. It is founded in manipulation, confusion, gaslighting, and then relieving of this tension. So it's very much created by this, holding on and releasing sort of dynamic and mechanism where you're then perpetually thinking about them because of that heightened state of arousal, ambiguity, not knowing what's coming next, that kind of thrill, but yet combined with terror, uncertainty, violation, degradation. It becomes, a lot of ingredients in the stew and the soup here. And then the brain becomes essentially engraved, if you will, with this heightened sense of euphoria and love bombing. And that's the seed of addiction. When the brain receives a heightened chemical sensation or stimulation that's, above and beyond the normal, brain neurotransmitter balance, which is a very fine-tuned mechanism. I mean, there's, billions of nerve transmission. I think there's 100 billion electrical messages going on literally every second within all of your cells. Of all of your cells, the body is such a complex organism. If we could really understand the molecular level of how all the various cells are working and creating nutrients and energy and removing waste and bringing air and oxygen through the mitochondria into all the various cells. It's really quite a very balanced and connected system. And when the brain has this, the mind, your brain itself, when you receive a heightened arousal, which means something extremely terrifying, scary, or euphoric, or for example, when people are on drugs like heroin and cocaine, there's as well as like alcohol, severe and very strong amounts of alcohol. It can cause an addiction in the brain because of this this heightened, imbalanced amount of neurotransmitter that's being surging in the brain. It creates basically a marker, if you will. It creates a neural pathway, which is it's a path. The neurons, which are the cells that make up the brain, the gray matter, very much have dendrites. So they're kind of they spread out almost like the roots of a tree, and they connect. Almost like the roots or the branches of a tree. They spread out, and then they connect here, connect there. It's very incredible thing. And when you are being love bombed, you're creating these new neural pathways in the mind, which are connected to a lot of hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, the stress hormone. So it's creating this marker, this heightened marker, which sets up the path of addiction and dependence on this person. So in essence, your life script is suddenly being rewritten by this experience where you're, addicted. In essence, you're driven to satisfy this feeling of dependence or euphoria, or replay this experience again and again. So it tends to rewrite almost your identity, which is your feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and mindset, and it alters your perception. So an altered perception, which means, it's you're beginning to look at things differently. You're looking at your life differently. You're looking at your work differently. You're looking at, the roles of other people in your life from a very different manner. It can become a very mind-altering experience, and oftentimes deleterious or negative in effect, which means it's not a good perception to be out of control. It's not a very pleasant perception to be gaslighted and brainwashed, and to experience, the rage that occurs with the violation. And as John Bradshaw states, this, anger does have a healthy place. So after you've been violated, really sort of almost discriminated against by this person who has targeted you, the anger is a healthy emotion to engage in, because that's trying to help you be declarative and set your boundaries up, like, this is violating, this is disrespectful of me. This is, this is very shameful. This, you shouldn't and can't and no longer are going to be getting away with this. So, looking at how that is rewriting your life script, you need to realize that they don't have the ability, unless you give it to them, to determine your reactivity, your rage, your focus, what you take pleasure in, what you contribute to, who you connect to, and really what values you then express in your life. It's very important to alchemize this experience, which means realize that you now need to write your life script. You need to take the pen in hand. You need to furthermore define yourself as you see and know yourself in your truth, your reality, and not just as a reactive sort of entity to this person. You don't live in their shadow. You don't live just to satisfy their narcissistic needs. You are not just a leg to them. You are not just, I think one thing we find in narcissistic abuse is that people really feel like they're just an extension of them. And because they've never been validated as being your own unique person. And I know this is intensive psychological stuff, but I think really once you've been through it, you really begin to understand this, especially as you repeat the study and really become a student of understanding this in a very real manner. You'll begin to experience really the truth of the matter, and then be able to take control of your life and get your life back, which is the whole goal, to become empowered and realize and better define your boundaries, which means, yes is yes, no is no. I'm not saying yes when I mean no, and I'm not saying no when I mean yes, and being declarative, declaring your boundaries, standing and enforcing them, and meaning what you say, backing yourself up, being an advocate for yourself, and stating, I no longer need to be abused, insulted, violated, betrayed to be in this relationship. I feel good enough about myself that I can pull away, separate, and stand in really my own essence and glory, and really magnify my own light, my values, and furthermore shine beyond that toxicity, because really the narcissist and psychopath will create really a lesser than destiny for you than that which you were meant to be, because they're trying to exploit your lower nature, that we just, the lust, etc. Really, those things which take you away from your true happiness and fulfillment. Peace and harmony with you here today. Hope these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. And remember to rewrite that life script that that you basically set forth in your recovery journal, your recovery date, all that, all those, we've got other videos on that. So please rewrite your life script according to your own heart center.